Am I the butthole for giving my old phone to a friend who doesn't have one instead of to my niece? I am 16M. I have a niece, 8, and a friend from school who is also 16. I had an iPhone XR, but my mom bought herself the new iPhone 12 Pro and also decided to get me one for Christmas. I took the opportunity to give my friend a phone as he doesn't own one because his mom cannot afford it. Up until that point he was trying to make do with an iPod 4th generation. My aunt and uncle came over for New Year's and asked me for my precious phone to give to their 8-year-old daughter. When I told them I had given it to a friend, they were very angry at me. I feel like I should note here that they both have very good, secure jobs and could easily afford to buy her a phone themselves. When I told them this as well as my friend's financial situation, they told me that I was being an ungrateful brat and doing them a huge disservice in a time of great need. I asked them what this time of great need was and they were unable to give me an answer. And then they went around saying that I prioritized my friends over them. Most of my family members believe I am the butthole, but I do not agree. AITA? NTA, your 8-year-old niece doesn't need an iPhone XR. Who's she going to call? Barney? Lamau, maybe Elmo if that's still a thing. Holy F, am I old? Goddamn, that's a weird feeling. Dude, laughing out loud, if you're old I'm a dinosaur. Which one? T-Rex? Stegosaurus? I'm sure I can sell you for some good money, laughing out loud. Pterodactyl, first sure man. Pterodactyls aren't dinosaurs, though. Ah, I see you're a man of culture as well. Woman of culture, actually, but thank you for the compliment and the award. Women on Reddit aren't real, didn't you know? They aren't? Then that must mean that oh no. Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good. What is this? Well, men you speak of? Of course we aren't. We're just really advanced AI. I feel sorry for your inbox. Around here you are a unicorn. Surprisingly, I haven't been harassed in my inbox yet. And isn't that a sad condemnation of Reddit society, that the yet even has to be there? I've gotten a couple of porn bots, but other than that, nothing. Hopefully I didn't just jinx myself. Till that, pterodactyls aren't dinosaurs and I feel like a dumbass. Thank you for the knowledge. NP. To be fair to you, stuff like Jurassic Park and The Land Before Time may be entertaining and are likely people's main exposure to dinosaurs, but they aren't exactly accurate and do tend to give the impression that pterodactyls are dinos, so no need to feel like a dumbass based on that. Just think of yourself as one of today's. The main reason I knew that pterodactyls weren't dinosaurs was because I was a massive dinosaur nerd from, ages 3 to 12. I'm not sure if I'd have ever learned that fact had I not explicitly been really into learning about them. Web link. Dinosaurs are on land only. Anything in the sky or water is / was not a dinosaur. Wait, so then what are they? Pterosaurs are included in the Archosaur clade, which also contains groups like crocodiles, extinct non-avian dinosaurs, and modern dinosaurs, birds. Pterosaurs aren't dinosaurs in the same way that crocodiles aren't dinosaurs. They have the same more recent common ancestor compared to other groups outside of Archosaurs, but are a totally different lineage. Pterosaurs in general are very cool, as true powered flight has only evolved a handful of times in vertebrates, just pterosaurs, birds, and bats as far as I'm aware, all independently of each other. The statement anything in the sky or water is / was not a dinosaur is very, very untrue, as there are both extinct, non-avian, and extant, avian, dinosaurs that are either aquatic or semi-aquatic or have powered flight, like birds. I believe is presently the only known non-avian dinosaur to be aquatic. Web link. I call ankylosaurs. My spelling is probably off. Obviously. Also, obviously NTA. Web link. I knew what this was before I checked, but goddamn did watching it take me back. The purple one. Barney? You, the niece, and Barney can have a 3-way phone call. Man. 16-year-olds are not allowed to complain about being old, smiley face. Totally. I'm twice their age and I don't even feel that old. Lamau on 19, Original post is a freaking zygote. You are still so young, you think 3 years makes a difference. Let us know when years 43 and 46 slide by laughing out loud. 55 checking in. Listen here, you little crap. I'm 48, and if a 16-year-old is a zygote, a 19-year-old is a fetus. Laughs in age 34. Same. Except I do feel old. I hurt my knee by sitting on the floor. Not the butthole. Original post lol. Also, you're not old till you manage to hurt yourself just by waking up or sitting, smiley face. I was in a wheelchair at age 17 from sleeping wrong. Be careful what you wish for. Laughing out loud. Lamau, maybe Elmo if that's still a thing. I'm twice your age and Elmo existed almost a decade before I was born. Elmo will always be a thing. Elmo is eternal. We age and die, but that red bastard will always be there. I say it's time to figure out his dark rituals for ourselves. That's what I love about these Muppets. I get older, they stay the same age. Elmo knows where you live. You're 16. Not quite old, smiley face. Lol, true. Not old but more mature than aunt and uncle apparently. Yes. What a couple of greedy old goats. Number 8-year-old needs a phone. And the rest of your family is just trying to calm down the boat rockers. With your intelligence, maturity and kindness you are so out of their league. I mean like, so out of their league. You are obviously an old soul. Keep being you because you is doing well. Op, I am over 2x your age, don't you dare call yourself old lol. I'm older than man landing on the moon. Get off my lawn. Same haha. Same, smiley face, I wish I was his definition of old. Judges quietly and 40 edit to add, not the butthole by a huge margin. 8-year-olds need their parents, not distracting technology. I have a daughter who's almost 16, so no dude, you're not old. Laughing my butt off. You're also not the butthole here. A kid that young does not need a phone. My youngest is 10 and she is quite happy with an iPad. And she can spam text me using it. Win-win. You're 16, you're not old bud. What is this, Logan's Run? LMFAO. Damn you for making me actually feel old where the Sesame Street reference didn't. Please accept my broke as gold medal. Is it bad that's my favorite sci-fi movie? Also that I remember watching reruns of the TV show, which aside from the pilot wasn't as good, with my mom on Sci-Fi Channel back when it was Sci-Fi Channel? Stop, I just turned 22, you're like a sperm still, calm down. Not the butthole. The last remnants of my youth just faded after reading this comment, you're not old yet. Original post LOL. Also not the butthole, you're a pretty awesome friend. I just saw an ad for Elmo's talk show to get me on HBO Max. I don't know what that means, except Elmo's still rocking it. P.S. Probably you are old, as well. I remember when the local classic rock station started playing music I loved from my teenage years. Solidarity, my fellow Redditor. You can't call yourself old, you're still a goddamn minor. I apparently am a freaking dinosaur. 2 financially stable adults who are asking a 16-year-old to give their 8-year-old daughter a phone? I feel bad for their daughter that she has to deal with those 2 idiots. I agree, I'm sorry to all the parents out there, but your kid does not need and honestly should not have a phone at 8. Shouldn't have one till teenage years really. I agree partially, but they do need a phone, but not an iPhone XR. They can make do with an old phone that can text, call, and do basic stuff until 7th, 8th grade. No one has house phones anymore. A phone for calling and texting is probably still necessary for many 8-year-olds. Most parents want their kids to be able to easily contact them or call emergency services. You probably used a phone at that age too. It is over the line to demand after the fact that original post gives her old phone to cousin. But if they brought it up earlier, I don't see the issue. I didn't know a single person that had a phone at age 8. I got my first phone when I was 12 and was one of the first in my friend group. I'm not very old either. Typically we communicated in person or used the internet. As well, Most children at 8 years are supervised by parents so they can be contacted that way. We still have a corded landline. They're perfect for when the power goes out and you don't have to worry about whether or not the power banks are charged and ready for cell phones. I honestly recommend it to people who can get good deals with their cable packages, etc., and live in places often prone to inclement weather, whether hurricanes or severe blizzards. We personally have to deal with the hurricane variety. NTA. I don't see anywhere that your mom said that if you got a new phone you had to give your old phone to your niece, so it was definitely yours to do what you wanted with. I'm sure your friend is very grateful, too. This and also why does an 8-year-old need a phone so badly? Exactly, an 8-year-old doesn't really need a phone, unless they need to be picked up early from an activity, which I assume is not something that's going to happen right now anyway, but usually, there will be other adults at an activity for children, so they could probably get someone else to call their parents if that was the case. And if they need it for that purpose, you can get a bog standard non-smartphone. My goddaughter, 7, has one with 6 numbers on it. 1 calls home. 2 calls mom mobile, 3 dad mobile, 4 school, 5 grandparents home and 6 me. She can't send texts or call anyone else. There is also a way to call 999. I think it cost her folks about £15 new. Giving an 8-year-old an iPhone is asking her to be mugged and or groomed. Not to mention, even at that age, kids tend to be forgetful. I can see myself at that age leaving it at the park or something because I got distracted. That's more of a by-person thing though, I guess. I definitely would have lost my phone at that age and probably quite a bit older. In our family we never got phones until we started secondary school, since before that we were always really close to home even when we were old enough to walk home alone. Secondary was a 20 to 30 minute bike or bus journey, so contacting parents suddenly becomes more important. Especially for me, since I got on the bus on the wrong side of the road on my first day and called my mom in a panic. Smiley face, smiley face, smiley face. I'm continually horrified by my cousin's 7-year-old daughter. She has an iPhone newer than mine, her own Facebook, and an unmonitored TikTok account. I find it pretty terrifying that cousin thinks it's funny when daughter posts videos of herself twerking. I'm scared for that child. And your cousin thinks it's funny? How funny will it be if that child ends up getting groomed by some creep? My point exactly. She's nuts and needs to parent her child. When I was in school, I got what we call now a dumb phone that had a handfuls of saved numbers, mostly family. We finally got a smartphone in high school. It was a BlackBerry, if that dates me a bit, lol, because we actually had use for it, weather, web access, etc. My brother and Sil got their 8-year-old daughter a phone, mainly because they don't feel their 13-year-old is responsible enough to call if there's a problem when they're being babysat. They're not wrong, lol. But my 8-year-old niece's phone is the most bare-bones phone I've ever seen. They'd never give her an XR. She can only text and call people. A highly priced phone is way too much power for a little kid. My husband and I were talking yesterday about what ages we'd want to give our kids phones. My opinion is as soon as they go to school they have a phone, but one of those lockdown ones that can only call like 6 pre-programmed numbers. No way would I give an iPhone to an 8-year-old. Smart. My doctor recommends waiting until with 8th grade for an actual phone. Wait till 8.org or something like that. I got one in 6th, but only because I walked a mile to school and back, in rain or snow, no bus. Back when they were new, we heard a lot about how mobile phones can damage brains that are still developing. Of course, we rarely use them to actually make phone calls these days, but in 2008 when my daughter was coming up to her 11th birthday, a couple of her friends had them and I was debating whether to give her one. All the mothers were debating the same. What swung it was a friend telling me her 12-year-old son had gone off with some others when they were camping and wasn't back on time. She had been so panicked that she decided to get him one. It makes sense to me when they are walking off independently, walking to school alone, etc., but not when they are always near adults. The only reason I could even fathom an 8-year-old needing a cell phone, 2nd or 3rd grader in the US based on birth date, would be if they are doing extracurricular activities like after school/rec sport teams. And that should only be happening in the normal, non-COVID times. Even then they would have access to other adults who could easily contact the guardian if they were not at the activity. She's a child and needs to use her imagination, not a piece of tech. Most of my family members believe I am the butthole. This is so weird. If my teenage kid / cousin / nephew / niece / whatever gave away a phone to his friend who couldn't afford one, I'd be proud, not pissed. NTA. Your aunt and uncle can afford to buy one, your friend can't. Simple as that. They're probably just salty that they have to buy one. Your friend was operating on a device from, if I remember correctly, 2012 or so. That's 8 years old. The XR is going to be a vast upgrade for him, and I hope he enjoys his new phone. You are a good friend. The thing is, they don't have to buy one. Not for at least 4 to 5 years. The niece wasn't even born when the friend's iPod came out. Not to mention, Original Post had given it to him before his aunt and uncle asked for it. It was no longer his to give to them. NTA. This really is the most valid point about the whole story. I got my iPod 4G for my birthday at the beginning of 2012, and it was pre-owned, so it's definitely older than that. Ridiculous. Not the butthole. The friend's phone is as old as the child. Up, not the butthole, and it was kind of you to give your phone to your friend. You're a good egg. NTA. I don't understand why family feel entitled to each other's personal belongings. Unless you already promised the phone to her, you are free, keep it or give it away to whomever you chose. I did not promise the phone to her. And apparently this aunt and uncle didn't even broach the topic until after you had already given the phone to someone else. It was no longer yours to give to their daughter, even if you had wanted to. You might clear the air by emailing the extended family a clarification to that effect. NTA. Or just ignore them. They were being entitled, the matter is settled, so ignore them and refuse to discuss it further. Also, Op, you did a kind and generous thing for your friend. Well done. I don't even understand how the family could even think Original Post is a butthole. The aunt and uncle are the ones going around badmouthing a 16-year-old for giving a phone to a friend in need. What is wrong with them? NTA. Do you think your mom might have told your aunt and uncle about the new phones before the holidays? That's the only way I could see them knowing to ask about it the first place. Something like, I just bought myself a new phone for Christmas, and Original Post is getting one too. In their minds, they twisted that to mean there's an old phone up for grabs here. And don't sweat the word ungrateful at all. That's just something that entitled parents use, along with disrespectful, when they don't get their way 100% of the time. And don't sweat the word ungrateful at all, and using it to Original Post is dumb. There's nothing here showing that Original Post isn't grateful to mom for the new phone. Not giving the old one to the niece, cousin, has nothing to do with gratitude. You should confirm that your aunt and uncle are planning to give you their house and cars. Thank you for watching. If you like our videos, please like them on YouTube. And share them with your friends. Please subscribe to be the first to know about Red Rabbit Reader's new videos. We welcome your comments below. Another of our videos will begin shortly.